Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally arrived in playoff season. It is time to make some picks for the NFL Wildcard round. But before we make the picks, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the Zucc TV channel if you have not yet, and make sure you ring that bell for when I post these videos. Without further ado, now we make our picks. And we start ourselves on Saturday, where the first game in the afternoon belongs to the Los Angeles Rams. They are taking on the Carolina Panthers. It has been a fantastic season for the Carolina Panthers, one of their best in the last decade, to say the least. And then they're playing the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, it really sucks. You have home field advantage. Congratulations, but you're going up against one of the best teams in the NFC. This game, I feel like it's very one-sided. I feel like the Panthers could put in a little bit of a fight, especially having home field advantage as well. But the Rams, with just how they've been all year, they're probably going to get Davante Adams back for the playoffs. It's really a sad way to go out for the Carolina Panthers. Although the thing is, a loss in the wildcard round is actually a win for them, considering the season they've had. So overall, it's a sad way to go out for the Panthers. It's too bad they didn't have a better opponent to play in the wildcard round, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And it looks good for the Panthers going forward, but I don't think they're going to be going forward in the playoffs. It's going to be the Rams to win this one. And then our nightcap game on Saturday is an absolute massive game between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Oh boy, this one is going to be awesome. Two rivals going at it here. The way I look at this one, it's kind of leaning more Chicago's way. I know Green Bay is still a very, very strong team, but they have dealt with multiple injuries over the last couple of weeks, and they've kind of just sailed into the postseason, while the Bears have played very, very well this season and heading into the postseason as well. And this is the first taste that Ben Johnson will have at head coaching a playoff team. Of course, he was with Detroit the last couple of years, but this will be his first shot as the head coach. And I feel like with that experience that he had in Detroit, will play big time here against the Packers. And we'll finally get to see how Caleb Williams also does in the playoffs as well. This is obviously his first time there. It's majority of Chicago's players' first time there. We'll see if they have maybe any nerves at the first couple of minutes of this game. But as the game goes on, I feel like it will definitely open up more Chicago's way. The Packers have dealt with too many injuries this season, too many deadly injuries for them, and it's going to hurt them in this game. It really will hurt them in this game. And I believe Chicago at home at Soldier Field will win and advance to the divisional round. Now we head over to Sunday, and we got 3 games on Sunday, and we start off with an absolute big one between the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are hosting the Buffalo Bills. A massive game between 2 star quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. These two have been balling out the last half of the season. The Jags as a whole have been balling out the last half of the season. The main question is, and I've been asking this question all season long, what type of the Buffalo Bills are we going to get? We thought they were going to come out this year and stun on everyone and be dominant, win games by multiple points, by double digits. And there's been some games where we're like, that wasn't really dominant at all. They barely beat the Cleveland Browns. You know, there's been games like that. Now, what type of game are we going to get from them? Are we going to have a game from them where they, like when they played the Cincinnati Bengals, where they dominate defensively, do really well offensively? Or are we going to have a game like that Browns game where they just suck and they're horrible and Josh Allen puts up a dud? That's a big thing. The Jaguars, on the other hand, have been going up like this all season long, and I feel like, you know, them being at home, that's big. That's really big. But you know what? The Bills always play to their opponent. I find that they play very well to their opponent. And I feel like they're going to play here on the road and dominate against the Jags. I feel like the Bills defense will definitely have an answer for Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. And I feel like the experience from the Bills is going to pay off big time in this game over the experience on the Jaguars. And that's why I think the Bills are going to go into Jacksonville and actually steal this one on the road. I'm taking the Bills to beat the Jags. Then we head on to Philadelphia, where the Eagles are hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, this is a very, very close game. You look at the odds of this game, and they are very, very close, like this close, to see who's going to win this game. And I really thought about this game for a while. I really did. I couldn't really think about, who has the edge in this one. We saw how Philadelphia did at the start of the year, where they had a fantastic record, but they played like crap. And the 49ers, were also kind of mid because Brock Purdy was out. But Brock Purdy came back and they've dominated very, very well offensively. They've done very, very well. The Eagles have kind of done the same thing. They didn't lose anyone to injury, but the second half of the year, all that stuff that started at the start of the year just kind of went away. Is AJ Brown going to catch a ball today? We didn't have any of that. It was, how many catches is AJ Brown really going to have today? That's what it kind of came down to. And I feel like this is just a game of two great powerhouses just kind of clashing heads, going at it together. So to pick this one was really, really tough. But I feel like home field advantage is going to play dividends for Philadelphia, especially playing, in Philly at that stadium. So I feel like they have the upper hand on this one. I feel like the crowd is really going to get behind them here. As long as they don't come out like they did at the start of the year, I feel like they will definitely win this game. I am taking the Eagles to take down the San Francisco 49ers. And then for our final game on Sunday, we have the New England Patriots. They are hosting my Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm going to keep it straight with y'all. I'm not picking the Chargers, and I don't think many people will. I'm very sorry. I know, how great Justin Herbert has been all year. I know that, he has basically carried this team on his back all season long, even with that hand injury. But I just don't see a way with how good their good. I mean it jokingly. How good their defense is and how good their offense is going up against a Pats team that has just shocked everyone this season. We did not think the Pats would be in this situation right now. Maybe in the playoffs, but maybe not as a division winner. We did not think that at all. And they've just dominated a lot of the teams they've played. They've dominated in many of the wins that they've had all year. I feel like the Chargers will play it close, but I just think the Pats will just be too much for them. I don't think they'll have an answer for the Pats, near the end of the game. I feel like it's going to be them to take this one. The Chargers, they've had a good year. They have somehow made it to the playoffs with terrible offensive and defensive ratings across the board. But this is where it ends. I feel like the Pats will just be too powerful for them, and they will win this game, the Pats, over my Los Angeles Chargers. And then on Monday, we got our final game of the wild card round, and it's in Pittsburgh. It's with those Steelers taking on the Houston Texans. The Steelers barely got in. They barely got in. We all know that. They barely made it. But they are in, and they are playing a Texas team who's kind of been like the Jags. Kind of started at the year, so-so, and then out of nowhere, they just kind of took off. And they have exploded ever since, and I feel like this game's really leaned towards them. I feel like the Steelers being in Pittsburgh, that helps them out a lot, but I feel like the Texans just being, how good the Texans have been ever since, midway through the season, I feel like this game is leaning towards their way. Maybe there's some Aaron Rodgers magic here or there, or maybe a missed kick at the end of the game, but I just feel like this game definitely leans towards the Texans. They have the stronger team. The momentum has gone their way for the majority of the second half of the year, and I just feel like that's going to continue here in Pittsburgh. For the final game of the wild card round, I am taking the Houston Texans to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there you have it, everyone. Those are my selections for the NFL wildcard round this week. If you liked them or if you didn't, please leave a comment down below. Or if you have picks of your own, drop them down there too. Also, leave a like on the video if you have not yet, and subscribe to the Zucc TV YouTube channel. And make sure to ring that bell to be notified of when I post next, because I'll be doing this all throughout the playoffs. Anyways, guys, enjoy the wildcard round. Peace.